What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Nick Green.
And I'm Kenny Gates.
And you're listening to GRO in Greenville on WZMB 91.3 FM Greenville. We are back with a very special guest. We've actually already had him on here once before, not on this, but on a talk break. Please welcome SGA President, Mr. Daniel Walker. Daniel, how you doing today, sir?
I'm wonderful. Thank you guys for having me here today. I appreciate
course,
it.
it's always
we appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure to have you on. So first and foremost, congrats on being voted in SGA President. Last time we talked to you, it was before you had been voted in. So congrats on being voted in. How's the first couple months of the school year gone? I mean, we're currently recording this in like September. So how's the first couple months gone so far?
Right, yeah. So my term started back in April. So I've actually been in office for about 6 months now around that time. Definitely a lot learned throughout the first 6 months. It's definitely different when you get into the role and thinking through the different issues that may revolve around campus and how you can solve them. The summer, we spent a lot of time getting money allocated from our reserves budget, meeting campus administrators, and really what we're seeing now is the weeds of those initiatives coming to life. So we're really excited about all those things that we're seeing on campus. One of the really great examples was today. We started our Pirate Kits initiative at our Flu Fest. So Flu Fest is a place where students are able to get free vaccinations, and we were able to give away 100 sickness kits to students at the Health Science Student Center. So really great way to see that work over the summer coming to fruition.
Gotcha. And I mean, obviously you talked about your initiatives and all the stuff you wanted to do. Previously, when we had you and Katie on our talk breaks, go check that out if you haven't already before they got elected. You had mentioned the idea. I forget the actual title of it. If you want to mention that after bringing a couch on the campus, and I think I did see something about that. I'll let you get into that. And has it been successful? And what's your plans with that going through the whole rest of the semester?
Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up. That was a really cool thing that we actually started during our campaign. We literally just put a couch on campus right by the cupola, and we had students come up and ask us questions. Most were, why are you here? Kind of like that. But, it was a really neat way to get it started. And we knew that would lead to really great engagement between students and SGA. So we do have a formal name now. It's SGA Sips and Solutions. And we put on our first series a couple weeks ago with Dr. Brandon Fry, who's the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. And we were out by the main campus Student Center lawn. We had iced tea and lemonade for students, and they were able to come up and ask questions. Really great success. As a pilot program, we obviously learned a lot from it. We're really excited to do another one in November with our very own coach, Kim McNeil, who is the head women's basketball coach. We're really excited to have her out there. Students can ask questions about, Pirate athletics. And again, it's just a really great way to ensure that, they know who their administrators are on campus, but also feel more welcome to walk up because, I think that's a really big part of our campus that's unique.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad to hear it has been going well, especially since we last talked about it. It did seem like y'all were very passionate about it, so I'm glad to hear it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And that's also something like very unique too. That's like it's a really neat experience that we're able to do that. It's something to get the students involved with what's going on over at SGA because a lot of the students don't actually know what's going on at SGA. So I think it's a really neat thing that y'all are doing about that. Obviously, taking on a new role as president, there's going to be some things you probably weren't anticipating that have happened. Right. What maybe kind of dive into that a little bit and like what has that taught you about your new role so far? What has that taught you about yourself and what you're doing?
Yeah, so honestly, I was one of those people before that would kind of just go by the fly and kind of keep things in the head. That does not work anymore. My calendar is about as crazy as you can imagine. There's a lot of really more you would expect that behind the scenes work than you would think. That could be a numerous number of things, such as meeting with our tuition and fees committee, meeting with academic integrity committees, things like that. It really is interesting. I will say, though, you don't really understand, I guess, from the outset how much the student voice matters in a lot of these decisions. But even being a part of a lot of these, committees or scenarios, you really see how much the student voice matters. And I love that about our campus. I'm glad that they take that into consideration. Another thing, too, that has happened since last time was I was elected vice chair of the Board of Trustees audit committee. So I serve in a leadership role there as well. So I kind of help us maintain our R1 status and also think about different areas of campus where we can, make sure that we're being compliant with a lot of the rules. So that's been a really interesting thing that I honestly had no idea I would be involved in. I'm the second student ever to have a vice chair role. The other one was Chandler Ward. So it's really great to be able to have that leadership there and connect with all those trustees and their unique backgrounds as well.
Well, congrats on that. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. I appreciate it.
Well, obviously off that, and I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff that you didn't even mention that you're getting into and having to deal with as president. But what's been the most rewarding part of the job so far?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's just connecting with the students. I mean, one of the things that's really unique about this role is you really do work for your constituents. And I mean, there's a lot of them. You're serving over 26,000 students that are online, in person, medical students, PhD students, anything you can really imagine. So I think really, I mean, every part of the job, the wins are really great and the losses teach you a lot. But I think honestly, just people coming into the office, having a great conversation about, the little things that they do as well really means a lot to me. And another thing that was really neat the other day was we were actually able to meet the SGA president from 1968. He came back to our office yesterday and he got a tour of the student center and saw his name up on the wall. That's the student body president wall, and that was really neat just to see how his life has progressed over the years and the impact the student government made on him. So I would say it's the interactions with people that really are the most meaningful part of the job.
For sure. I mean, how the generations pass, especially with that. I mean, that's that's pretty crazy to think about that. He was able to see that, and you guys were able to show him that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now in 2068, you can look forward to coming back here and seeing your name on
I'm
the
looking
wall.
forward to it.
So you can do that for yourself in 2068. You can, for the class of 2072, you'll see
Be
him
prepared.
back.
I'll be back.
You'll see him back on campus on that. So obviously thinking of being at, I know you said your calendar is slam packed right now, but what do you have prepared for the future? What are you thinking for the future of your time here at serving as SGA president? What do you got planned for that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the first goal overall is obviously to make it a better place than when I started. And I think we're really working on a lot of that. We have a few things I'll share that I'm really excited about that are coming up soon. We're currently working on the SGA Summer Scholarship for Regional Transformation, which is a $20,000 stipend that's broken into 10 scholarships for $2,000, and that'll help individuals that are interning in Eastern North Carolina to supplement based on some of the rates that you would get, like if you were in Raleigh or more metropolitan areas like Charlotte. We're really excited about that, and I think that'll be a lasting impact on this campus. We're also really excited about the install of our Recre box, which is coming up soon, which is a health related vending machine essentially, and it allows students to pick up health related items in a discreet manner. But I think there's a lot of things going on. We're also working on like Sharps boxes on campus for students that have type 1 diabetes or maybe take medication to dispose of needles properly. A lot of our areas are revolved around health. I think that's a super important part because if you're not a healthy individual, then going to school is really difficult. So it means a lot to me. I think health is a really holistic thing, and so we're hitting on a lot of those areas. One other thing I'll share as well is we're going to keep working on wellness days. That's a huge part of our platform, and we're starting to get some headway on that I'm really excited about. Our program revolves around student-chosen wellness days, and we have engaged in conversations. We've built a program, but we're engaging in conversations with our faculty senate again to see how that can hopefully be implemented at the start of next calendar year.
Gotcha. I mean, obviously, you've mentioned a whole lot right there. You mentioned a whole lot earlier. So, to like the new students, I guess, especially like the new freshmen, or it doesn't matter what age, how can students get information on what you and SGA are doing?
Yeah. Well, first of all, follow our Instagram. That is a great way to see what we're up to. Another thing that our marketing team just started, and I got to give kudos to them. They have done a wonderful job this year, is before all of our assembly meetings, which take place at 6 p.m., Main Campus Student Center, Ballroom C, they post what's going on for the week. So the policies or legislation that's coming to the floor, if we're confirming any new members, if there's any discussion about initiatives going on. So that's going to be on our story every week. We got actually the first one out yesterday. That's a new thing that we're starting. Also, too, all of our assembly meetings are public. So again, they take place at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays in the ballroom. I really encourage students to stop by to just learn a little bit more. You don't even really have to say anything, just hear about what's going on in SGA. And then especially for our first year students, we have a program called Shipmates, which is an opportunity for students to get involved and learn more about what we do as an organization. So this is headed by our director of first years, Rose Lukeba. She is wonderful, and she does a great job leading that group. They meet at 5 p.m. on Wednesdays, so if you're interested, I would love people to show up to that. We have a great group right now, but we want more people involved as always.
Well, that is awesome. Kind of to wrap it up, we do this with everybody. We did it with you and Katie back on our talk breaks.
We had to come up with new questions. It was a little weird for this.
Exactly. We're used to just kind of recycling the same questions. But for this one, rapid fire questions. First one, favorite sport to watch ECU play?
Yeah, it's got to be football. The atmosphere, and I'll tell you, this last game with the flyover and fireworks, I mean, that was a pretty neat environment. So it's got to be football.
Oh, yeah, really awesome. And then favorite game you've ever watched while at ECU?
It's got to be, that's going to be, I'll say both of them. I'll say NC State and ECU every time. I think it's always a great rivalry. First one at home was really tough. I mean, that That was tough.
That
but
was
it was
tough. That was
it was a
very
great
tough.
game.
That was my first game ever as an ECU student.
It was
Yeah,
mine
me
too.
too.
It was a tough one.
It was a tough one. But I also got to travel up to the Military Bowl and watch that as well. And that was really fun to see us get back at them for that,
Get that
one.
win.
So
Yep.
I was really excited about that. But I think anytime we have any in-state rivalries, right, like that, the atmosphere is really fun.
It's always awesome. And then lastly, favorite event you've ever been to at ECU? Doesn't matter, just any event.
Honestly, I think my favorite one was Are You Okay Day last semester, which was put on by the Division of Student Affairs, and they had like rock climbing walls. They did a lot of wellness-based activities. SGA was a sponsor in that. It was put on by our very own Dr. Lanika Wright, who's our Dean of Students. I think it's a wonderful event. It's almost like a wellness day without it actually being one in a sense. I know it's going to happen this year in the spring again, so I definitely recommend everybody checking that out. It's a wonderful time.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I actually hadn't heard of that. So that
that's
is
a good
actually a
one.
really neat thing that I've never heard about before. But that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of GRO in Greenville. We'll be back again next month for a new episode of GRO in Greenville. We'll have a new guest for you guys. But make sure you check out everything SGA is doing here on campus. Daniel, it's great to have you again. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Until next time, thank you guys so much. Go Pirates.